And that would have took way too much brain power. And I am currently not in possession of the brain cell. And I wasn't in possession of the brain cell whatsoever then. I don't think I'm ever in possession of the brain cell. I don't think I'm trusted with it. Welcome to the prop video. I'm really excited about this prop video. So for the first time in a long time, I did something I'd never done before. So for the last prop, we went with a TNT block because of the whole, you know, exploding nations shit. And also it works great as a seat. I'm currently sitting on it. It is great because who needs chairs? Hashtag I got my TNT block. I don't need a chair. Even though a chair would probably be way more comfier than a wooden box. But this time, obviously, if we're gonna do Ranboo, we gotta do Ranboo's memory book. Honestly, not only because I really want to do Ranboo because his character design is really fucking cool, and also because I really like his character in general. I think his character is absolutely amazing, and I actually took some inspiration from his character moving into a LARP that I just recently went to. And kind of designed them a little bit like them. Also because my sister was like, hey, I'm gonna make Carl's book from the Tales of the SMP. I'm gonna learn how to make a book from beginning to end. And I was like, that is fucking awesome. I want to make Ranboo's memory book. And so we went off to Michael's. At first, I grabbed some construction paper, some like tan construction paper, because my idea was I wanted to make it look like an old book. That's it. That was my idea. I wanted to make it look like an old, sort of wrinkly, like, notebook. Like, make it look like something you could see in Minecraft, but at the same time, like, actually function as, like, writing in a notebook. So it's gonna be messy. It's gonna be old and stained and withered because it just looks cooler, and I wanted an excuse to use tea stain paper because I like tea stain paper. I grabbed that because I was like, hell yeah, I can cheat. I don't have to tea stain paper. And then my sibling then told me, hey, I'm just gonna buy a sketchbook because then we can use the cardboard as the cover pieces. And I said, okay, I'll just buy both. And then I realized I'm not rich. It's only by a few bucks, but I was just like, no. We need to do this in the most cost-efficient way. Making a book was honestly probably really fun. So first things first, we needed to fold them into signatures. I don't know what the fuck a signature is. I still to this day don't know what the fuck a signature is. I'm just gonna call them groups. So, got the groups, grouped it up.
It's called signatures.
A signature is something you write.
Yeah, but in bookbinding,
something you put together.
But in bookbinding, it's called a signature.
We ripped it out, fold them into little groups, and then after we folded it into groups, we then kind of put them together and started stitching them together.
Yeah, you can explain.
Okay, so basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this wonderful little ruler right here. Okay, you're gonna take this ruler, you're gonna measure out the spine, and you're gonna mark how many you want. So what I did for this one was I did it every inch. So you could do it every half an inch, wouldn't recommend. You could do it every inch, you could do it every 2 inches, you could do it every 1.5 inch. I'm assuming you're gonna do an inch. That's what I'm assuming you're gonna do, but it's up to you. So. Stitching was fun. Stitching was great. Stitching was 10 out of 10.
So if you look very closely, you see how there's a line in between that? In between those 2 pink pages there? See how there's a line?
This one.
That the thread doesn't touch?
This one.
Yes.
That.
You see that?
Because we had that.
Yes, we sewed all of that.
Yes.
These are pages that we're gonna glue on once you're done with this stage. Once you're done with sewing, we're going to move on to a different stage.
And we're going to glue this whole thing.
Yes, we're going to glue the spine, and we're going to add what's called cover pages. The cover pages is this area that's not sewn in, as you can see from the, like, difference there. So...
But it's all sewn.
No, it's not.
But it is.
Yeah, that's all sewn, but... You might be able to see better on my book. So that's all sewn, right? But you see how there's this one page here that isn't sewn by anything?
But mine doesn't do that.
No. Remember how I moved on to next steps? I went further. I'm past you.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking now, because this is a step that you can do differently. Okay? So we're not worrying about this. You see how there's a page that wasn't sewn?
So there's some magic that happened here.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is why I didn't want to go ahead of you at all. And then I did, and I regret it. So
I'm sorry.
So that's different, right? This is a different page that
we're not there yet. But
yeah, you're not there yet, but it was some magic.
But somehow magically there's more pages apparently.
Yes.
Okay.
So this page that magically appeared,
You glued it.
yes, I glued it. What's gonna happen is this is your cover. So this is what's gonna get covered by your leather. And that's gonna be your final book, right? So this is gonna go on top of here. But to make this stay down, this piece of paper that magically appeared is gonna get glued. But you see how it has the fold there? So these two pages are gonna be the same. So I'm asking you if you want this right here to be colored, or if you want it to be the same as the rest of the pages.
You're gonna hate me, but I need to say this before I get anything out of my head. This is just one paper that's folded, or is there two papers that are folded?
It's one paper that's folded.
Okay, thank you, because my brain was going apeshit over that.
No,
so,
no. Okay, what I did.
It's fine. It's fine. It's
okay,
fine.
Okay,
it's
making
fine.
sure, making sure.
I just needed to know if this was one page.
It's just one page that's folded and
folded
glued.
and glued.
It's folded and glued.
Would definitely do it again. However, something that they regret to inform me whatsoever was that I needed to tea stain them before I sewed them. At a point, I was now at a juncture where I either continue with the blank pages that I have and just drop the whole tea stain idea that I absolutely fell in love with, start completely over and do this all over again and tea stain the pages and then go back to sewing them, or the third option, which is just tea stain them by hand single-handedly each individual page. If you are going to do Ranboo's book and you are like me and say, oh my god, I would love it if it was tea stained, do yourself a favor. Stain the pages ahead of time. Easy way to do that. Make some tea, grab a pan, put the pages in the pan, and then pour it on. Wait a couple minutes, and then take the pages out, and now you got tea-stained paper. It looks kind of dope. But because I couldn't do that, because I fucking fully sewed my book together, I individually did this, and this took 2 months to complete. And no, there was no way around it, because I tried. Okay, so the original way I was doing it, because it was all tied together, didn't quite work. So we're gonna try a new method that my dad suggested and pray that it works. And if not, then we're gonna have to do the whole process over again, but this time tea stain before we puncture the holes. So let's pray that it works. I grabbed a huge mop bucket, filled it with water, filled it with tea water, and then fucking dipped that book, waited 20 minutes, pulled it out. All it did was stain the sides of it because the pages were sticking together, so it only got maybe 3 or 4 pages stained. So even me trying to get around that didn't work. Okay, so try doing the...
We've been trying to contact you about your card.
Oh my god, okay. So, tried the attempt last time. Where's my book? My book's on the fridge. Ah! Ah!
Shut up. Wow, this is really going great for you. This aesthetic shot is really working. Shut it.
So after about 2 months of painstakingly the tea and tea staining it, my sibling was already done with their whole book, and their book came out really kind of dope. And especially because it was their first time, and I'm really proud of them. But I'm upset that it took me the same amount of time to tea stain the pages for them to already be completely finished with their book. Because we were like, hey, this is going to be a cool sibling thing. We get to hang out together. And we couldn't because every day I was just fucking sitting there tea staining fucking papers. I went for at least 40 bags of tea. I'm kind of happy with how it came out stain-wise because it kind of looks cool because all the pages are a little bit different. And I don't know if they would have been different if I did it the other way by putting the pages in a pan and then pouring tea on it. But instead individually, like, fucking smacking it with a fucking tea bag. We did end up finding a faster way if you accidentally do this, and that is grabbing a hairdryer and praying, which worked pretty well. I then finally glued the spine part together. So that was all glued up. I think I put about 2 or 3 layers of glue there. And then we moved straight into getting the covers. And we cut it out and we measured it kind of right. Mine's a little crooked, a little floppy, a little unsymmetrical, but like, it's okay. Cut it out, and some of the original ideas I had going into the book was I really wanted it to look wrinkly, so we took some string that we had, tying it together and then putting glue on it so it comes out like a cool big stick, and then we put the said stick on the cardboard and glue that down. That way when I was laying the leather over it that we got from Joann's, it would be able to just fit nicely, and then we could pinch it out and it creates cool little like wrinkles. Does it make the exact wrinkle effect that I wanted? No, but it's still wrinkly. It still kind of works. The other thing I wanted to do was kind of have it, there's leather and then it kind of rips open, but the rips are all like painted black letters and it spells out do not read Ranboo. Did not end up doing that. Instead went for the ulterior motive of using Sharpie. I had way more extra fabric than I would have needed. And I was told this multiple times, but I didn't listen. Also, the lady at Joann's tricked me. Okay, I am not good with measurements. I was told exactly what measurements I needed. And I walked up to that ma'am and I said, hey, I need this measurement. And she said, you mean this? And I said, yes, because I don't know what the difference between this measurement and this measurement is. My brain can't function the difference between those two measurements. You can, I can't. So she took advantage of me and I bought way more leather than I needed. But sew that together and then I cut it. But then when I cut it, I didn't measure it and I should have. Because when I cut it, I then realized, fuck, I don't have enough fabric to cover it because it fucking opened a little bit and I was sad. And then glued that down and had to glue that a few times. Leather and Elmer's does not mix whatsoever. It's just a bunch of glue. Creating a book is just a bunch of using of glue. We pressed it with our homemade pressing weights, which were amazing. You don't need real pressing weights. We just used a bunch of weights, so in case you're curious and you're just like, I can't make a book, I don't have that equipment. We didn't either. We just had weights. And if you don't have that, use schoolwork. That's probably the most use I've gotten out of my college school books. Once we got it all down, the rest of it was pretty simple. It was just write like Ranboo and write every single thing in. So I went on the wiki page and found out that there wasn't just one book, which I knew, but I didn't know there was 4. I knew there was at least 2. Did not know there was 4 books. My book has at least 45 pages in it. That's how I made it. So it kind of looks like, not like a thick book, but not like a skinny book. And that is more than enough pages to literally fill the entirety of all 4 books. I did not write the entirety of all 4 books. This is something that I'll probably do later or ever in my spare time, just as a small hobby, just to pretend and write as a character in the book, because it is kind of cool to do that, and it's kind of like, ooh, like a kind of like a stress relief almost, to kind of just pretend you're them and just write down what's supposed to be in the book instead of making 4 individual books. It's just all going to be one book, and there's just probably just going to be spacers between everything. But no, I did not write every single thing. However, I wrote enough just so I could get this out and film this and post this out, because I felt really bad that this was taking forever. So I just wrote as much as I could, and then by time filming came, I was like, okay, this is what we have to do and deal with. So these are the pages, and these are how some of them came out. Is there going to be more written in here? Absolutely, but that's just going to be something I do more on my time. And who knows, if you want to see that certain page, because let's say there's a particular page that you like, you can write it down too and do really cool fun stuff. I've never made a book before, and this was really cool. And on top of that, it's kind of just some of the stuff that I want to start doing on this channel. Just trying new stuff out and seeing how well it goes and see if I enjoy it, because I enjoyed that thoroughly. I actually want to make more books and more like character books, I guess you could say, where you're writing as the character. It's fun to not be yourself sometimes.
Sign of a traitor.
Hey there, champ. I always saw the shadow and I knew you were coming closer. How's it going, my little pog champ?